For one, what have you learned, right, since retiring that has propelled you in a positive way in your businesses? And what do you still want to learn that you haven't either fully grasped or haven't even gotten a chance to?
I would say that you need to do something that...
So what's your goal, like business-wise, if you have any business goals with the farmer? Is it just...
I would say the biggest thing I want to accomplish is being able to sell my own line.
If NIL was around when you were in college, how well do you think you would have done?
I think I would have done well because I know my...
So how does the competitive mindset translate from sports into business? But how would, like, say an athlete, if they wanted to start their own foundation, what would be some of like the basics that they should like?
LegalZoom, and I would say you definitely need to have...
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Athlete's Wisdom Podcast. I'm your host and creator, Alexander Turner. And on this podcast, you already know we talk about everything business, financial literacy, branding, and marketing. So you're able to build your business, grow it in and outside of the game, all right? So today I have an amazing guest with me who has done just that. He has not only built his brand in the game, but built it outside of the game as well, and is understanding what financial literacy is so he can grow his wealth not only for himself, but his family. What's going on, Avery? How you doing today?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Feeling blessed, man. I'm feeling blessed. I just want to first take the time to thank you for, coming out today. I know you got a busy schedule, about to fly out later today, so I appreciate it, man.
Oh yeah, no doubt, my man.
So before we really delve into anything, for the people who are not familiar with you, can you just kind of give a quick gist of who you are, kind of like how you got into the game and even where you are now, financial literacy and business wise?
So from Milan, Tennessee, it's like a small town, like 8,000 people.
Dang.
So yeah, it's not a lot going on there. It's very rural in between Memphis and Nashville. So I always had a passion and desires like, hey, somehow I'm going to do some great things. And I put it in my mind that I was going pro in the 5th grade. And I just started, really working hard from that point and had it in my head, I'm going to the league, and just kind of molded my game and worked at it every day of the week, turned myself into what I am today. But
like it.
It was just a big, small town, but I just had a passion to do great things. And I achieved it. I just had in my mind to make sure I got to go pro. And I knew that was something that I could get out and bring value to my community one day. I know how I was going to do it, but now I'm on that second wave. I'm done with the league. And now I'm trying to get into these new ventures. So it's very important to me. Community. I feel like our people, a lot of people need help, but I definitely feel like the Black community, needs a lot of help. We're behind in so many different aspects. And
we're always the last to get information.
Yeah. So I'm learning stuff. More and more. Getting out of the football world, I feel like I'm so behind just on real life. Just, just because I've been so locked in on football the last, since the 6th grade. I've been playing football and did that for, until 2021. So
dang.
Just learning. Yeah, it's a long time.
That's a minute.
Long time. So it's really been a learning process, and it's really been stressful at times. It's really been a roller coaster because just not knowing what to do. That's like literally, I didn't know I was going to be done playing.
At the time you were?
No, didn't think I was going to be done playing. It just, I hurt my knee 2019. I was coming off with the best season of my career with the Jets. And 2018, I had the best year of my career. 2019, I tore my ACL in camp in preseason game. It was here.
In Atlanta?
Yes, in Atlanta.
Dang, I shouldn't have worn his jersey, man. I shouldn't have. My bad.
Shout out to Greg Jared,
remember this? Oh yeah, no, he is the GOAT. No, he's cool as it.
But yeah, tore my ACL, and I was low key thinking about just giving it up.
Before you injured yourself?
No. When I got hurt, it was like rehab was so crazy. I was like, man, I don't know if I want to come back. And I was like, well, I don't want to go through life saying I didn't try. I just quit. So I was like, I got to come back from this. And I actually came back, had a great season, did half a year with the Jets, and then I got traded to the Steelers.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it was 8 years. I got I jumped from the Titans and the Broncos my last year. And I was like, you know what? It's time to give it up. Actually, I was on practice squad with the Broncos, and I was really mad. I'm a starter.
Why, because you're on the practice squad?
Yeah, I'm starting my whole career, and it was an embarrassment to me because I'm like, yo, and dudes know who I am. I'm on P squad, and I was like, hey, coaches tell you, hey, come line up over here. You need a body. You know what I'm saying? Like, You know who I am? Like 100 tackles a year, you know what I'm saying? Plus, you know. So I just got so pissed off that it was one day we were warming up, getting ready for practice, and I was talking to Clinton Dix, and I was having a bad day. My girl, she was pregnant at the time, and so that was stressful. You know, I'm away. You know, she going through stuff mentally.
Was she was in a different state?
Yeah, she was back in Florida.
Okay.
So it was just like a lot of different stress. I'm pissed. I'm on practice squad. I was telling I'm like, bro, I'm done with this shit, bro, man. You know, I'm hot. He's like, man, just calm down, bro. You good. And something just was in me. I was like, I can't do this no more. I told my linebacker coach, I was like, where I think it's George Payton. Yeah, that's the GM's name. Where the GM at? Like, what you need? You need a raise? I was like, nah, man, where the GM at? Man, I got to talk to him. And I guess he thought I was playing. And everybody got in the lines. We started, got on the ground, started rolling out, stretching. I took my helmet off. I'm done. Walked to the locker room. I walked to the locker room and I called up the GM. I was like, hey, come to the locker room. We got to talk. I was tired of it. So that was that. I didn't think I would go out like that, man. But yeah, that's how it happened.
Sheesh.
Yeah. But I just was so upset. And then
practice squad got to you.
Oh, I was hot. I'm up here sitting watching the game. So yeah, it didn't end the way I wanted it to. I thought I would get 10 years and be like, hey, man, maybe I'll walk away, on my terms. Technically, I did walk away from it, but
on your terms.
Yeah, on my terms. But yeah, so I went from playing in the league, and then my son, he was born December 31st, and then so I walked away from it on the 24th. December 31st, he was born, and then I was just trying to like figuring out life. I was like, yo, what do I do next? Like, it was just like a whole different space, like family, and I was like, okay, I'll definitely probably get picked up, maybe, but I was low key hoping that I wouldn't. I don't know, I knew I was kind of done.
Gotcha.
And I was training still some, but then I got to a point I just stopped training.
Stopped training completely?
Yeah, I stopped training. I knew I was done, and but I was the whole time just trying to figure out, all right, what do I do? How do I, maneuver in this real world space? Like, I just felt like I didn't really have anybody to really help me out. And it was definitely a struggle trying to just juggle life now, and I was just like, where do I go to next? You see people making money. You try different things. I jumped into crypto.
Yeah, probably jumped into that too late.
Long time.
Facts. Yeah. Well, you heard about when Meek Mill said get in, and then that's when you hopped in?
Yeah.
Because right when he said it, that's when it plummeted.
It was like 21 when I jumped into crypto.
Yeah, that's when it started to plummet.
Yeah, so lost some money on that, and I jumped into some other businesses, and my dad, he was like, well, you sitting on your ass down there just doing nothing. You need to come on back up here. I was in Miami, in my family, and he was like, come up here and get this cattle operation going. And I just kept on avoiding it. I would come up some, help him out. And I just finally this year, I was like, you know what? I physically need to be there to really get stuff going. And I don't know, it was God telling me or what, but I was like, once I started going back more, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be the move. And I was like, you know what, babe, we gotta sell the house.
I like it.
We gotta slide.
So I want to ask you two things that you kind of said that I want to connect, right? You said originally, I'm gonna go back a little bit to when you first started saying, you said in the 5th grade, you decided right then and there that you were gonna go to the NFL.
Yeah.
And obviously you had to put yourself in a certain mentality and change your mindset to obviously put in the type of work to get there. And then you also said after you were done, because you said you stopped playing December 24th, and your son was born a week later. Yeah. And then you had to start figuring out life. And I'm sure that was another mentality shift.
Yeah.
So kind of explain, how you got into the original mentality of putting in that type of work, because a lot of people say they want to go to the pros, right? Yeah. But then it's once they see the work and the grind that has to go to it, they say, you know what, I don't want to do this. They switch, right? So how did you initially get into the mentality of I'm going to put in this work no matter what it takes to get here? And then how did that mentality shift? And then what mentality did you get into afterwards, once you had to start raising your family and kind of figure out life without football?
I would say how I got into that mentality. Well, I'll give you the whole story. It was my cousin, actually. We were just sitting. We had a little family gathering, and he was telling me how he used to pull the tire, this 18-wheeler tire up the hill at my grandma's house. And I was like, dang, really? And I was kind of wanting to play football and hadn't jumped into it yet. And after he told me that story, how he did that all the time, I was like, yo, I'm about to go pro. And I'm about to go pull this tire. And if you go to Milan, Tennessee, you say, what was Avery's workout? What he used to do at the house? They'll say, oh, he used to pull, some people say he used to pull a tractor tire, but it was a truck tire. It was an 18-wheeler tire. Or people say he used to pull a tractor. It's like, like a low myth.
Yeah, they start after you just start building on top of each other.
So I pulled that tire, and I don't know, it's like from that day it just switched. And I was like, I'm going. And I just, whether it was cold, whether it was hot, I just pushed myself every day. I started buying like different weights and stuff for the house. I started building myself up. And with the aspect of being out of football, I'm doing the same thing. So it's like a mental build up. So I'm like trying to take in as much knowledge as possible. Even my failures, I'm learning stuff. Learned, you don't jump into a business as fast when you don't know it that good. You need to really, it depends on what it is, but you need to really know and study and be prepared for the right situation. Don't jump into stuff too quick. Do your homework. Make sure that you're doing business with the right people, because you can sell a dream and
they can't
take
deliver
money. Can't deliver, taking money from you. So I would just say I'm mentally building up myself now to be prepared for the world, and just educating myself, being around the right circle. That's really the biggest thing. I've learned a lot since 2021. I've really learned a whole lot, and it's really refreshing though, because I feel like within the next year or so, I'm gonna be so much more advanced, and just in so many aspects. And I'm really like super hype about it, man. Just because I want to conquer this business side, just like I did, football. And I want people to look at me like, okay, he's not just a football player. Like people wonder like, well, what's Avery doing? What's he doing this and the third? Is he broke? Is he?
They say I want to say for football, for NFL, I can't even remember the exact percentage, but I want to say it's about 2/3 of athletes 3 years after they get out go broke. Right. And this is your third year out of, or is it second?
Second. It'll be my second year. And
obviously you're in a much better position than a lot of the other ones, because like you said, you've been putting in the work to understand financial literacy, understand the things that us as a culture, us as a people have been, given the information last on. So I want to kind of ask you about some of your business ventures, right? Like what have you learned, right, since retiring that has propelled you in a positive way in your businesses, and what do you still want to learn that you haven't either fully grasped or haven't even gotten a chance to learn yet?
I would say that you need to do something that you actually know something about, and that you actually are, truly love. And a lot of the stuff I was jumping into, crypto, I don't know, I was just trying to
make some money.
I was just trying to make some money. I see people making 900 million on a coin. I'm like, well, shoot, let me put 1,000, 10,000 on this, test it out. I tried trucking business. I was trying to make money. It didn't go as planned. When I would sit back, my dad was just telling me, like, the farming. And I was like, I do love it. And he was like, well, how bad do you want it? So that's something I'm passionate about. And I was like, well, let me go ahead and just put all of my effort and energy into it and see how it goes. And I think that's really some good advice for people, is to do something that, you don't want to just jump into something and just say, hey, you run it. You need to know your business.
Very true.
You got to know your business, and you have to have some love for it. Some stuff, you might not, if you can get an expert in it, say, hey, I can make you some money. But if it's something that you're really passionate about, it'll be a different feeling. Like, I could sit and look at a cow for a long time. Like, I just literally
I've never heard anybody say that sentence still.
I could just look at a cow, because I just feel like cows are beautiful. I don't know.
So did you farm when you were younger, or Okay. So you've always kind of been in that environment, and then so it's like you're from the country.
Yeah, I'm from the country.
Okay.
Yeah. So my dad, he bought that 50-acre farm when we moved. Bought it before we moved from Cleveland, and there was a house on it. He started fixing it up, and it had cows on it. And he was driving trucks, so he would, my mom, she would actually be out there during the week when he was gone and stuff, doing stuff for the cows, feeding them. And then once I got older, it was on me. So I started doing a lot of the stuff. Started running it. When he was on the road, and I learned a lot, and I was ready to get away from it, because it was a lot of hard work, and we didn't have all the good equipment like we do now. So I was like, forget this. I'm going to college. I'm done with this. So that's why I did not want to jump back into farming, because I still had that bitter taste in my mouth. And I was like, it's not, I don't know, I just felt like it wasn't good enough money. But when you really look at it, you can really do some great things. And it's such a wide variety of things. Like, right now, my focus is I'm trying to get to that full Angus side of things.
Like the Angus
cattle, yeah.
Okay.
So I want to create my own bloodline. Yeah. Just like anything, like dogs, you could have your own.
Gotcha.
You know,
And then that's why there's Wagyu and okay.
well, I guess it's more like this pit bull is with this pit bull. You know, so you create. You know what I'm saying? Like
Gotcha.
It could be a pit bull, but it's I gotta say pit bulls though, because we black.
No, that's just the first dog. You must have a pit bull or something.
I don't.
Oh, you do?
No, I don't.
I don't know why you said pit bull then.
I should say Yorkie.
I mean, I got a Shih Tzu, so but I know what you mean. So it's, yeah.
So I'm trying to create. I want to create my own bloodline and have some good genetics.
So what's your goal, like business wise, if you have any business goals with the farm? Or is it just purely out of you enjoy doing it and this is just kind of the season you are in your life right now?
I would say the biggest thing I want to accomplish is being able to sell my own line, Angus cattle, and also having my own meat line as well.
So how many cattle do you? How many cattle do you have?
We got like 42, 43 right now.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to build it, just continue to build it up.
What's your target goal?
Man, I would say at least the next year and a half I want to get to at least 100.
Okay.
Yeah. If I get up to 100, I'd be doing pretty solid. So
never thought I'd be talking about cows, man. Not in depth the way that I am currently. So let me ask you this, right? I want to pivot it a little bit into the sports side before we jump back into business side of sports and then business in general. You went to the University of Kentucky, and obviously from there you went to the Titans. But while you were at Kentucky, right, we all know about NIL and how NIL is now. And I know you haven't obviously participated in that, but just from what you've seen NIL is now, how is it different besides the actual compensation aspect? Like, how is it different for athletes with NIL than it was back then?
Yeah, it's a lot different. I can't remember who I was talking to. I was talking to one of the strength coaches at Kentucky, and one of the receivers, he's making like $600 a year?
Damn.
$600K. I was like, yo, what? Like, that's insane.
That is OD.
Yes.
I mean, that is nice, obviously, as a college student and college player, but
I'm just like, yo, that's insane. But I mean, hell, I was happy just to get my paycheck, $5,000 of a semester. Man, I'm up. Hey, like, we going to Dillard's. I'm about to give me some new jeans. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we going shopping. Hey, look, food on me for the next couple of days.
Yeah, but man, these kids are literally making
salaries,
NFL money. Like, damn near. Yeah, some of them, they making NFL money. But salute. I wish I was.
You can make it.
Yeah, because they making all that money off of the guys. Selling their likeness and stuff. So somebody's capitalizing off of it. So people are like, well, they shouldn't get paid, take away from the game. But like, well, if they don't get paid, then why should the other people get paid?
I said they're the ones that's making these universities, these coaches and all that. To a certain extent, obviously, they have to be good coaches and staff in school to make the money. But it's the players that you're bringing in that's going to, without the players, how y'all going to make money?
Exactly. Because, I mean, let's be real. Education, can only get you so far. You get out of a college degree. I mean, you're not going to get just an amazing job. Like, okay, my school got paid for. Like, okay, it's amazing, but what job is that going to get me? And, that's actually going to be beneficial for my future. That's going to change my life. So, I mean, you did all this work and you leaving with no money but a degree. At least you can leave with your pockets full.
Facts. And nowadays, a lot of people, from what I've seen, when they get their degree, a lot of them don't even end up finding a profession in their degree. No. So they're left, if they didn't have scholarships and grants, right, they're left with debt.
Yes.
They have a degree that they're very knowledgeable in, right, but they can't essentially use that degree, right? Yeah. So, and plus, just from the circle of people that I hang around, right, I can't speak for, obviously, things that I haven't seen, but I see more entrepreneurs making insane amounts of money rather than people working a job, right? Yes. And people always want to mention, oh, well, but the tech industry, well, okay, yeah, they're making six figures in the tech industry, but these entrepreneur people are making six figures in a day, 6 figures in a week, right? 7 figures in a day, right? So yeah, it's cool that, you're in the tech industry, you're making $250,000 in a year, but I just know somebody that did that in a week just off a digital product. So they didn't even sell anything physically tangible, right? So
just look on TikTok.
Facts. Hey, TikTok is making stupid money. I still need to get on that. But I want to ask you this, right? If NIL was around when you were in college, how well do you think you would have done?
I think I would have done well because I know my parents would have, kept me on track. I would have done well. I would have saved my money. I was pretty smart with my money when I was getting the little small checks. So I don't know. I know I wouldn't have blew. But man, I wish I could have got some of that money to start. Just to like get a jump on life. I mean, I got blessed anyway. But But yeah, it just would have made everything a lot easier, a whole lot easier.
Gotcha. So how was the transition from college to the pros for you, especially those first few years?
It was tough at times. I would say that first year was definitely a big transition, just the length of the season.
Because it's anywhere from 5 extra games. They played 11 and 12 in college.
12. Yeah, 12 games. So you got. It was 16 back then. So now it's 17. But yeah, you got preseason too. I think my preseason games.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a grind. Like that whole business side of football. I walked into my rookie year thinking that everybody was my friend. Mm-hmm. And it ain't like that. You trying to take people's spots. Coaches, they trying to keep their jobs. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely a straight business.
So kind of touch on the business aspect, because we always hear, slightly the business aspect when obviously people get traded and, you have people like Stephen A or stuff like saying that's the business, but we don't hear it from the athletes. So kind of discuss the business side of things that people might not really know about.
Well, it's about the money. And if they have, if they can save dollars, if you heard on TV a cap casualty. So if the team can save dollars, have somebody cheaper, playing maybe not as good but almost as good, they're gonna get rid of it. And they're looking for younger, cheaper guys, and that's just the name of the game.
The running back market right now says that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, well, I think all the markets they trying to get everybody as cheap as possible, and that's you look at it from if I had a cleaning business, if I could a cleaner that's making $20 an hour and I got somebody that I can go hire for $12 an hour that's gonna do that job almost as good or better, I'm keeping the $12 guy. Get rid of the $20 guy because I'm gonna save money. So it's the same aspect, on a professional level. And they don't care. They bring in the next person. That's it. It ain't no feelings. You think it is, but it's not. It's not Pee Wee football. It's not team bonding. I mean, you have team bonding and stuff, but I mean, you see guys used to get traded. I got traded on the plane.
For real?
Yeah, I got traded on the plane. I swear.
You technically wasn't even supposed to be on the plane no more.
I wasn't. So yeah.
So what? You got traded from the Titans to
from the Jets to the Steelers. Yeah, I got traded, bro. I was hearing it. I was going to get traded, and my agent had called me that Saturday. We were going to play the Chiefs, and we was 0-7, and everybody was like, you 0-7, the season not going nowhere. So my agent was, telling me like, hey, they're talking. Steelers was like, okay, good, because they were 7-0.
Was that the season they went 11-0 and then flopped?
Yep.
Damn.
Yep. I know. I thought I was going to the Super Bowl, man. So
you got to play with Big Ben though.
I did. But yeah, I was hearing that I was possibly going to get traded. So I was like, I was about to say Lord and God. I said, God, please just keep me healthy. So I was not worried about the outcome of the game. So yeah, we got waxed. Patrick Mahomes, he had a field day. Travis Kelce, got on the plane. My agent called me. I answered. We was literally taking off. I was like, hey, we take it off. I'll text you. And he was like, hey, they want to trade. He's like, what do you think? I was like, do it.
Wait, so you get a say so when you get traded?
Yeah, I mean, I could have just said, I guess denied it or whatever, but it was 0-8. I was like,
yeah, no.
Yeah, so I put the some little thing on the plane. I put it like I wrote it down. I was talking to my teammate. I was like, bro, guess what just happened? I was like, I'm going to the Steelers. He was like, you lying, bro. I was like, yes, I'm out of here. So yeah, man, I got traded on the plane, and hell, it's part of it, man. But I was happy.
So let me ask you this first, actually. From the time you've been able to play in the league, right? Who were your favorite? Because I feel like as athletes, we're all competitors, right? Yeah. And we all like to compete. And we all like to see who's better overall and obviously in certain situations. So who was some of your favorite people to compete against?
To compete against, like on my team or like you said?
We'll do both, on your team and on opposing teams.
On opposing teams? That's a good question, man, because I done faced a lot. That's a tough question. Favorite person or... It
doesn't have to be number one favorite, just like top people that come to mind. You can list, about as many as you want, up to 5 maybe.
I mean, I'm trying to think who was in my conference. I mean, shoot. Like playing against, you got your Deshaun Watson. You got your Tom Brady's. That was... You
were in Tom Brady's conference.
Yeah, I love competing. We played them my 4th year at the Titans. We were second round of playoffs, got to Foxborough, cold as shit. And man, we were right in that game. We had one call that got flipped. It was we stopped them on defense. New England was punting the ball, and their player jumped first, and then our player jumped over the line, and they were going to, back them up. Mm-hmm. And they ended up reversing the call. They said the referee looked over at the sideline or whatever, reversing the call. They got the ball back, drove down. Tom was when hurry up mode was right before halftime. Hurry up mode, scored on us. And then he got the ball back after halftime.
It was just over.
That was it.
Yeah, it was over from there.
But Tom, I competed against him 3 times. I mean, that's, you know what I'm saying? That's awesome.
Part of history, honestly.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think who else. Aaron Rodgers whooped his ass. Oh, we told him up. My year with the Titans, yeah. It was fun competing against teammates with Randall Cobb in college. And so it was fun being able to compete against him. So we won in our history.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it's competition every week, you know. And I guess we really didn't have a big rivalry like when I was with the Titans. But if I could have been with the Steelers longer, I would have really, loved to really get in that Ravens and Steelers. I mean, that's always.
I'm still gonna pick Browns over Steelers every time.
Browns over Steelers.
My dad was from Cleveland,
okay.
So I
was born in Cleveland, so my family's always, still root for the Browns.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, you want to know? Actually, I love competing against the Browns because I will always have a great game.
For real?
I'm not lying. First game I started, 5th game of my rookie year. That's when I started and balled out. I don't know what it was, but I will always have an amazing game.
I mean, they were ass.
Yeah,
I'm not. That's not to discount you.
Yeah, no discount.
No discount. No discount.
I remember it was. So they actually beat. It was the first game that they had won. They went 0-16. Yeah, and when I was with the Jets.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes, bro. And I balled out. I'm actually the one that hurt Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, for real?
And Baker came on the field. Yeah. So that was my second sack of the game. Hurt Tyrod. And I had like 14 tackles, 2 sacks. I might get AFC Player of the Week. And man, I sacked Tyrod, celebrating, you know what I'm saying? That next play, I was like, why the crowd, started to cheer. And I turned around, I was like, Baker was coming on. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, okay, let's go then. You know what I'm saying?
Time to get him too.
And tables turned, and Baker brought that juice. And we ended up going, taking the L against the Browns. And
dang.
Yeah.
At least you bought out though.
I did, but I definitely love competing against the Browns though.
So how does the competitive mindset translate from sports into business? I
want to be the best at what I'm doing. So I would say with my farm, I've always had a passion like, hey, I want everything to be laid out, the nicest layout. I want to have the best cows. So I just started, really locking in on what I wanted to do with my property. Not just talking about it, just being about it. So everything from like cleaning up stuff to, just all the little technical things that a farm needs, trying to mark off the, checklist, you know what I'm saying? Things that my dad would be like, yeah, man, we need to do this and that. And, just not doing it, you know what I'm saying? And saying, well, yeah, we'll get it done. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yo, we doing it. And that, I think, is that competitive mindset. Like, wow, wait, let's do it now. Mm-hmm. And I can't say what I'm doing, but I got something I'm cooking up in my hometown now with some real estate. But when this drops next month, I want this space to be the best space. You know what I'm saying? I feel like anything that I do, why not make it the best? You know what I'm saying? Make the most presentable. You want it to reflect what you are. Mm-hmm. And why would I bring poor quality stuff for people to to use? But yeah, I'm always competing. I want to have the best stuff. I want people to say, yo, Avery does a good job at this. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm glad you brought up your hometown because I saw that you do something called the Avery Williamson Field Day. Your second annual one this past in June, right? June 3rd?
Yeah, it was June 3rd.
And
June 3rd.
The proceeds go to the Avery Williamson Reach Foundation. Yeah. So can you kind of talk about why both of those are so close and dear to your heart and what made you kind of start that to begin with? And then even how, say, somebody that's watching now could start following in some of those footsteps to start implementing some of those things of their own, especially like a college athlete.
Yeah. Well, the Avery Day started was out of boredom. And I was like...
When you were retired?
Yeah, it was 2021. Yeah, I had a long off season, didn't get picked up, so I was like, maybe I should do something just for the city. You know what I'm saying? Just get people out the house. I was like, I hadn't played dodgeball in years, and I just started talking. I was like, yo, I should do some type of field day for the for the community, and we just literally put something together within a couple months, and had the first Avery Day, and we had vendors come out. It was actually a pretty good turnout, and so I was was like, let's make it an annual deal. So this year it was a little bit better. We had a wider range of people from different towns come out.
Was it in Milan?
Yeah, Milan.
Milan, I apologize. My bad. Milan.
You ain't the first. So yeah, we had a bigger turnout this year, and next year I'm planning on really making it big. I want to get some people to come out, get some different athletes to come out, get some sponsors, really turn into something that the city's this thing is legit. But it just came about. I just wanted to do something for the city. When I decided to do the foundation, I knew the direction that I was headed, and that was helping people, and I knew that I needed to have a foundation, and I just wanted to do it just because people need help. People need help, and it's what better way to do it, than through a foundation. So I just out of nowhere just wanted to, I was like, hey, let me go and do this thing, and because it's a lot of people that just need simple things, from just having transportation. Somebody might just need a new starter kit or something on their car, but that $200 might be stopping them from getting to their job. So it's the Reach Foundation, because I just literally want to reach into people's lives and help them out. And that's why I formulated it. Just figuring out the basis of everything, how we want to help people. But it's definitely going to be beautiful, and I feel like my city and so many other cities need it across the country.
So you not got to give me the full, but because I know it might be very detailed, but how would say an athlete, if they wanted to start their own foundation, what would be some of the basics that they should have, or some of the people that they should seek in order to start their own foundation of their own?
Well, I actually did mine on LegalZoom. So,
for real?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's simple.
LegalZoom, and I would say you definitely need to have, if you're not going to do it, have somebody in place to you have to have scheduled meetings, and if you got board members and stuff, you got to make sure that everything is documented. Gotcha. And especially once you start getting that money in, you got to make sure that it's you got to have your bank account set up, and
for the foundation.
Yeah, for your foundation, and you just have to have everything in line, because you're taking other people's money. You got to be professional about it. You can't just
just give me some money. I'll put it over there.
You got to make sure everything's on point. If you're gonna do something, you got to do it right. But I asked questions because I didn't know anything about that. That's why I never got one, because I just didn't know how to run a foundation. Gotcha.
So I know you said earlier, you kind of mentioned getting people's money in the foundation and getting sponsors for your field day. How do you go about getting sponsors, right? Because some people, let's just say some athletes might already have a foundation, or they might already be trying to throw an event, but they don't have the necessary capital to do certain things. So how would somebody go about, say a college athlete, go about getting some sponsors for an event that they're hosting?
Talking to local business owners. I would say the biggest thing you need to do is just talk to your network. You'd be surprised how many people that have businesses and are willing to donate. So I'd say start with your network and just ask around. Tell people, hey, I'm doing this. Would you like to help? And especially being an athlete, people want to be associated with you anyway. So if you're doing something good, it's a good chance that they'll want to donate. So just tap in with your network. I think that's the first step.
I like that. Yeah. I like that. So I want to pivot back to NIL a little bit before we wrap up. So transfer portal. I know we had talked about obviously the compensation of NIL, right? But what do you think about the transfer portal in regards to NIL and how that could be either good or bad for college sports? Because I'm sure it wasn't the same way.
Nah. I think it's definitely a double-edged sword, because you can, change your scenery super quick. But I also feel like kids will, just kind of give up, you know what I'm saying, too easy. Like, I'm not playing here. Let me slide over here,
Imagine if Stetson Bennett did
You know
that.
what I'm saying? Like, when I got to college, I didn't start my first 2 years. So I had to ride it out. Like, I wasn't going to transfer. So, like, I wasn't running from that competition. Like, I had to, get in there and just compete. But I definitely think that's the part I don't like, is that when you run into something that you don't necessarily like, you don't want to face the problem. You want to just avoid it.
Gotcha.
I feel like that's definitely something that could be bad, because when you get to the NFL, ain't no transferring.
It ain't like the NBA where you can just request a trade and then they're going to give you one.
So I definitely think that could cause some issues with kids not wanting to face those challenges, and because not everything's going to go your way. You're not going to be able to pick your team all the time, and it can be some cats can be a little entitled.
Okay, so.
Yo, I got a question for you, though.
Yeah, what's up?
What's up with the outfits?
Okay.
Y'all dressing like y'all in the 1500s.
So for the folks who don't know what he's talking about, we were at InvestFest this past weekend, and our themed booth was Bridgerton.
Oh, that's what it was.
Bridgerton. Yeah. Okay. So we're a family business that helps entrepreneurs craft their own family business, and Bridgerton is about the family and royalty aspect. So we just kind of connected the two. But you can't tell me we wasn't looking good, though. That booth was banging.
You had the boots on. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything was, nice and, nice and tidy. But I was like, yo, why are we talking to these people? Hey, yo, I'm doing an interview with these people.
Bro, I promise that's not how we dress. As you see, that's not how we dress on a regular basis. And it was hot.
I know it was hot.
I mean,
it was cold.
It was cold inside, which was good because we weren't
outside.
Bro, you have no idea.
You waiting in the food truck line with a wig on.
Who was waiting in the food truck? Bro, I was not waiting in the food truck line, bro. We brought our own food. I was not about to go outside in some 95-degree weather.
It was 100.
Bro, it was too hot. That's what it was. That's what. But so I do want to ask you this, right? Since we're talking about InvestFest, what made you go to InvestFest first of all, and what financial literacy tips or takeaways did you get from going there?
All right, so I was told about InvestFest through my project manager. He sent it to me, and he was like, "Yo, I just got word on this. I think this will be a really good event to go to." Looked at it, see it was like some famous people that had been before, and a lot of black entrepreneurs. I was like, "Yo, this might be pretty good." So went ahead and did it. It was definitely well worth my time. Talked to some great people, had some great things that we had set up. Just listening to the different speakers. Heard, Rich Paul. I heard Cam Newton, Al Harrington, Baron Davis talk. Some of the big real estate people. I can't remember their names, but it's my first time even hearing about them.
For real?
Yeah, like some of the people, like, I don't really pay attention to a lot of stuff. But it was some big real estate people that, this one guy, he's like one of the biggest real estate people, black guy. I can't remember his name.
Brandon Rule?
Brandon Rule, yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? I never heard of this guy, but I was listening to him talk, and it was two more brothers up there too, but definitely very inspirational messages. Just seeing that some of these people just started a few years ago and built these portfolios, I'm like, dang, like I could do the same thing. Just get out there and just get it. But it just really is lighting the fire in me. Like, yo, I can definitely achieve this. Don't take no for an answer. You gotta make sure that you have a game plan. You can just keep tightening up on it. You know what I'm saying? And I can't remember who it was, but somebody was saying just like don't. If you fail, it's like, okay, just keep going at it. Keep going at it. And it was amazing though. And I'm super pumped. I'm definitely
energized.
Oh yeah. I'm jumping to the real estate model this year. So I'm actually fixing up my childhood home. My uncle.
Is that the same 50 acres?
Yeah, it's right on that 50 acres.
Okay, so 50 acres you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Was the 50?
That's where I grew up.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So a house on there. So my uncle, he's currently fixing up the house I grew up in and literally remodeling everything.
That's dope.
And so I told him, I was like, hey, we should, do some business. Like, let's build some houses.
Is he like a general contractor?
Yeah. So he's had his contracting license for a long time, but he built my grandma's house, and he built I think he was just on another job. He helped build another house, but he was just like more of a subcontractor on all the other jobs.
Gotcha.
But he never really got the opportunity. So I was like, let's do it. Let's start building some stuff. So
that's dope.
Like, let's start small, buy some property, start building.
So it's crazy that you said that, because I was also going to ask, so while you were around the Vest Fest, did you get a chance to walk around to all the booths?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the Monopoly house? It was a big red house.
I probably did. I just can't remember. There's so many booths, but.
So I want to say her name is Female Real Estate Guru. Can't remember her actual name. But I've been following her for a while because she's in the same mentorship that I was in. And she literally bought land and built her own neighborhood.
Really?
Yeah. And it's crazy that you, Terica Smith.
Really?
Yeah. So it's crazy that you said that you're going to start getting into it now, and that you have what you have 115 currently acres.
Yeah.
Are they connected to each other?
No, it's on the same street though.
Okay. So with buying this land, right, have you ever thought about creating your own neighborhood, or maybe later down the line?
I thought about it. It's definitely possible. Mm-hmm. It's definitely possible. You know, you just gotta get utility and sewage, and just that's it.
Do all that.
Yeah, but you find the right spot of land, you can definitely do that. I've thought about it. You know, it's achievable. So does she have her family out there, like or just?
I can't remember, because at the time in which I saw it, it was still being built, and then it had just, I want to say a lot of the houses were just being finished. But I wouldn't be surprised if she ended up bringing some of her family. I mean, I know if I build a neighborhood, they gonna have some houses. They gonna have a whole little. Y'all gonna be on this one street.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be on another street, so y'all don't feel like I got to knock on my door every 3 seconds. But no, so I wanted to ask, what businesses do you have in general, right? But I know you have a farm, but like, what are you doing in the business realm besides building your farm?
So all right, I'm gonna go and tell you. So what I'm planning right now is I'm doing a salon suite. Mm-hmm. So I'm doing a salon suite back home. I want it to be that salon suite that everybody want. I want that when that woman, when she leaves, she's like, oh my gosh, I feel so beautiful. But she's seeing all these aesthetics, the floors, the chandeliers, the accent walls, the greenery. I want that person to leave there feeling like amazing, and they want to come back. So I'm jumping into that, and I'm going to be doing a community center / event space. That's going to be, we'll see when that's going to happen, but it's in the works though. It's in the works.
Gotcha.
And it's going to be something. Well, it's going to be a lot different than what's in West Tennessee. So it's going to be out of shipping containers, and it's going to be out of shipping containers. I'm not going to lie,
I've seen a lot of cool looking places made from shipping containers, and I heard it's much cheaper, isn't it? I think it was like anywhere from like $12,000 to $17,000 on average to get a shipping container, something like that.
It depends on how much you put into it. Like, I mean, some of them you can get. Some of them are. I mean, if you just put insulation and drywall and that's it, I mean, you can get it pretty cheap. But if you're doing electricity, you know, all the works and stuff in it, it could be like $60,000, something like that. But it's still cheap. Yeah,
compared to purchasing or building the whole house from ground up. Exactly. Thankfully, stepdad electrician, so he gonna handle all that. You know what I'm saying? But no, that's dope.
Yeah, so that's my big project that I'm working on. That's really a reason why we were here. You know, just talking about that with some different people, working on funding options. But it's going to be something that will give people in West Tennessee, you know, something to do. That's why I originally thought of it, because I said, what is it like? What's a need in West Tennessee? And I was like, well, the kids, they got nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? You got to drive 30 minutes from our town to go to Jackson, and you got like your bowling alley or your jump zones and some other stuff, but you really don't have anything outside of the ordinary, the movie theater, all that. So I was like, let me do something different. So I was like, hey, let me create something that people will have a wow factor to, something that can get people out the house, can you know, be outside, you know, inside, outside feel, and just have fun, something different.
How often are you in Atlanta?
Not often. I think I'm actually coming back in like 2 weeks. I might.
Just from what you've said, you should definitely just like go around like Atlanta, both ITP and OTP that's in the perimeter, perimeter 285. And just see like how they're building a lot of these things, because like the way you described it is the way I'm seeing some of the places that they have in Atlanta, and I already know that it's going to be dope. So I'm like,
crazy.
That's gonna be. I can't. Hey, whenever it's done, I'll definitely come out and support
Bro,
though, for real.
Appreciate it.
No,
yeah, it's gonna be like no other.
So, what inspired you to get into real estate, or get into building the businesses that you're currently building, and what kind of inspiration or tips or tricks can you give to the audience that has a vision or that might want to do something, or maybe if they're a little lost and don't know what to do?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing is you need to look at not just looking at something cool, but look at what's a need. I say for West Tennessee, entertainment. I feel like entertainment is something that's huge, and people want something to do. Like I was talking to one of my friends, my cousin's friends, and he said his parents were driving around 11 o'clock at night, just bored. So if you that bored, I guarantee those parents will be at my spot if I'm open up at 11 o'clock at night on Saturday.
Right.
So I would say the biggest thing is find out what the need is in your area or in the area that you want to invest, and invest in that. What was the second thing?
Was what inspired you?
What inspired me?
Yeah.
Shoot, I would just say really just the desire to be successful at something else. Football is over with. Never be able to put the pads on. Never be able to, play another game. I was in Miami, just kind of spinning my wheels, like, not knowing what to do, or when to do it, how to do it, and just kind of floating through life. And when God started pushing me in that direction, going home, it's like things just kind of started it's coming my way.
I like it.
And it's definitely so fulfilling to see stuff really happening, because like it was like going to NFL. Like when I was waiting on that phone call, I'm like, yo, is this really gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? Like it's just one of those things, like surreal things. And that when I got that phone call, I'm like, wow, like I really got drafted. So now that I've been farming my whole life, I know what that is like, but I've never had a business outside that. So it's like, yo, can I really create a business that I can make six figures? You know what I'm saying? And that's when this whole building phase is like, okay, this thing's happening, but is it really happening? But it's happening.
It's happening.
But that moment to where, hey, we opening up the doors and you see people coming in there, getting their hair done, you know what I'm saying? Going to the podcast studio, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to be like a surreal feeling, like, hey, I really can do this. I'm really, branching out to a whole nother aspect of life. Yeah.
That's dope.
So, yeah.
So, a couple more questions before we wrap up. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years?
Best case scenario.
I think I'm going to be making, ain't no telling how much money I'm going to be making, dog. Like,
put a number on it. Think big.
I might be making about $3 million a year. You know what I'm saying? I think I'll probably be making like something like that. $3 million a year. $3 or $4 million a year, like, I guarantee.
Okay.
With the plays that I'm doing. I think I'll definitely be heavy in the real estate. My farm's going to be pumping out, cattle. I have my Angus line. And I'll have my beef, being sold. But I definitely feel like I'm going to be in a really good space. I definitely feel like Studio 19 is going to be in quite a few different places across the country by then.
And then final question before we wrap up. For any college athlete that's out there looking at this right now and they're looking to do something more, if you could just leave them with any tip that you really want them to take away from today, what would it be? I
would say make sure that you are putting your money to work. Don't let it sit. And just don't be stupid with it. Make sure that, I would say, just invest where you are. You know your market there. If you're in Clemson, hey, look in your area. If you're in Kentucky, look in your area. Why not buy some of the homes that are already on campus? And
that's always going to be rented out because you always got to have students there.
Yeah, buy you a condo downtown, Airbnb it, anything. So I would say that was a mistake that I made. I did not buy real estate. I bought land, but I did not buy any housing when I was in the league. Yeah, I would say that was my biggest mistake. It's no sense in paying rent if you're making that much money. Yeah.
And where can they find you if they want to, follow you, connect with you, ask any questions?
A Williamson 54 on Instagram and Twitter. Hit me up if you got any questions. I don't know it all, but I'm learning. So
Hey, well, I appreciate you coming on today, man.
Definitely.
And look,
Definitely.
if you haven't already, just go ahead and make sure you subscribe. Follow my guy Avery, and we'll see you next time. Let's go.